Hello, welcome to Borderline Obsessed Travels, High Points, Tripoints, Counties, National Parks. Today I'm taking you with me to Washington, D.C., but don't expect to see any of the interesting stuff in D.C., only the stuff I'm interested in, which is not that interesting. I'm going to be doing D.C.'s High Point and D.C.'s 2 Tripoints. I've already done this, but I did it before I started documenting this on YouTube, so just for documentation's sake, I'm doing it again. Just for a little background information, the nation's capital was Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for a long time, but then in 1783, something called the Pennsylvania Mutiny happened, and I'm not going to pretend that I understand what happened during that, but because of this mutiny, the capital was moved from Philadelphia to Trenton, New Jersey, and also because of this mutiny, government officials started thinking that there should probably be a new nation's capital, and it should probably not be part of an existing state, because in their opinion, the nation's capital should not have to rely on an existing state for its security. So in 1790, the city of Washington was conceived. It was originally a 100 square mile city that was shaped like a square with 4 10-mile long sides, and it encompassed the existing cities of Georgetown, Maryland, and Alexandria, Virginia, both of which are on the Potomac River. And Maryland and Virginia both donated those chunks of land to become this new city of Washington that would neither be part of Maryland nor Virginia. When the city was originally surveyed, there were 40 boundary stones placed. There were 10 placed on each of the 4 sides of the city, 1 at every mile. 4 of those 40 stones were cornerstones, so there are stones at the north, south, east, and west corners of the original boundary of DC. These boundary stones are the oldest federally placed monuments in the country, and 36 of those 40 original stones are still standing. The other 4 have been replaced. I'm going to go to the cornerstones today. I'm not going to go to the other 36, but if you wanted to, I think it is possible. In 1846, the formerly Virginia side of the city of Washington voted to rejoin Virginia because they were worried that slavery was about to be outlawed in the city of Washington. And that is why today Washington, D.C. is shaped kind of weird. It's shaped like the formerly Maryland chunk of what used to be a square city. D.C. is now 68 square miles instead of the original 100 square miles, so 32 of those square miles became Virginia again. It also means that 13 of those 40 original boundary stones are now just in Virginia and no longer marking a border of DC. DC has 2 tripoints. Both of them are DC, Maryland, Virginia tripoints, and both of them are water tripoints in the Potomac River. I don't really do water tripoints. I'm not going to be wading out into the middle of a river, but I will get as close as I feasibly can to both of the tripoints. This is the eastern cornerstone of DC. I'm in Jones Point Park, and the southern tripoint and the southern cornerstone can both be accessed from here. The southern DC, Maryland, Virginia tripoint is somewhere out here. It honestly might be pretty close to like that buoy. The bridge is I-495, DC's Beltway. And across the river is National Harbor, Maryland. The historic southern cornerstone of DC is located on the other side of the Jones Point Lighthouse near the water. It's the historic southern cornerstone. It's not currently a boundary marker for DC because, again, the Virginia side of DC rejoined Virginia. And the historic southern cornerstone is under this glass. Kind of hard to see, but there's a stone down there. Andrew Ellicott Park in Arlington, Virginia is where the historic western cornerstone of DC is. It's a small park about the size of a house lot. And the park is named after Andrew Ellicott, who was the surveyor of the original boundary. Here's the western cornerstone. And this is another historic cornerstone. It is now in Arlington, Virginia. This is the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal, aka the C&O Canal, that runs from Washington, D.C. to Cumberland, Maryland. It was in operation from 1831 to 1924, and it mainly transported coal from the Allegheny Mountains around Cumberland to D.C. And this is the C&O Canal towpath, which runs 150 miles to Cumberland, Maryland. And from there you can also take the Great Allegheny Passage Trail, another 150 miles to Pittsburgh. You can walk on this, you can bike on this. I think you can ride horses on it. But yeah, if you wanted to walk or bike to Pittsburgh from here, you could. The northern DC, Maryland, Virginia tri-point isn't far from here. I'm standing on an old foundation of something, I don't know what right now, but the northern DC, Maryland, Virginia tri-point is up that way in the Potomac River somewhere. I'll try to circle where I think the tri-point is located. And I'm not gonna go any further than this, because I don't want to. If you respect your mom, please respect Mother Nature. If you care about your future kids, please take care of their future world. If you respect yourself, please respect what makes you breathe. While you are reading that, nature is not a trash can. I left some trash bags to pick up trash. This is very cute. Isn't it better to have a view without garbage? I'm in Fort Reno Park, which is where the highest point in DC is. It's named Fort Reno Park because during the Civil War there was a fort here called Fort Reno. From the 1860s to the 1920s there was a predominantly black neighborhood here. That neighborhood was also called Reno, and in the 1920s that neighborhood was bulldozed to make this park because rich white people were moving in nearby and they wanted this neighborhood gone. One of the only features of the neighborhood of Reno that is still standing is a fire hydrant. So Point Reno, the actual high point, is 409 feet in elevation, and DC is not a state, but if you ranked Point Reno among the other state high points, it would be located between Florida and Delaware. Florida's high point is the lowest high point in the country, and Delaware's is the 49th highest. During the Cold War, there was a microwave transmission tower here with included underground bunker that people lived in, but it was disguised as a water tower, and they actually built up the land to be taller than the natural high point to build that microwave tower on, but because that hill is man-made, that doesn't count as the high point. And this is the northern cornerstone of DC on the boundary between DC and Silver Spring, Maryland. And that is all the silly little things I wanted to show you today. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want, don't if you don't, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.